William W. Bill Marshall III, 5 Points Bank, Grand Island, deceased. Bill grew up in Niobrara, a small community in northwest Nebraska where his father owned Bank of Niobrara. When Bill was a high school sophomore, they moved to Grand Island where his father became president of Commercial National Bank. Bill attended UNL and graduated from the UNL College of Law. He practiced law in Omaha before returning to Grand Island.
He got a call from his dad, and he wanted him back in Grand Island to help him develop a new bank. So after a lot of thought, we decided it was a wonderful opportunity.
In September of 1971, 5 Points Bank opened its doors. At the end of the first year, the bank had grown to $700,000 in total assets. In 1975, Bill became president of 5 Points Bank, and by 1977, the bank had grown to $10 million in assets.
They were open on Saturdays. They were open every night until 8 o'clock, which was not the traditional banking hours. And people in the community really embraced it. So slowly he started growing the bank.
It was the new bank on the block. There were family-owned banks that had been there for nearly centuries. So that made it difficult, but Bill and his team persevered and they were able to grow. And by the late 80s, they were basically the last hometown bank standing.
Under Bill's leadership, 5 Points Bank grew into the 6th largest bank in Nebraska, with more than $1.6 billion in assets, 160 employees, and 10 branches, including Hastings and Kearney, and eventually Omaha and Lincoln. The growth is particularly remarkable as 5 Points Bank has never acquired another bank.
And really just to have that kind of organic growth and oversee that is really a testament to Bill's strategy, his business acumen, and his ability to grow something organically through the years.
Bill's office was always on the first floor, facing the door so he could see the customers and greet them as they came in. He also carried an active loan portfolio and enjoyed his longtime customers.
5 Points Bank really is centered around an exceptional customer experience, and that starts at the top. I truly believe that great leadership sets the culture for any organization.
According to Bill, the success of the bank was related to the success of the community.
You have to pay rent for the space you take, and that just meant you have to give back to the community. And in order for the bank to really be successful, the community of Grand Island had to flourish.
Bill contributed greatly to the success of Grand Island and was active in many organizations, including the State Board of Education, Nebraska Bankers Association, Nebraska State Fair Board, Heartland Event Center, College Park, the Grand Island Chamber, and the United Way Annual Fund Drive.
He would go to the bank and do loan committee, and then he would drive to the fair and he would put his jeans on and his boots on and his State Fair shirt, and he would shake hands all day long, and he loved it. It was really neat to see how hands-on he was with that experience.
Bill was always eager to share accolades with his bank employees and credited them for much of the bank's success.
Bill has had a great team of people surrounding him since the inception of the bank, and I think that's one of the things that, again, makes 5 Points unique.
His love of community, customer, and employees was second only to his family.
He had high expectations in us, and he pushed us to be the best we could be, and he didn't puff us up when we didn't do well. I mean, he was not somebody that just gave false praise. He didn't give a lot of praise, but when he did give praise, it was very, it went to our heart. It was very poignant.
Very poignant.
Bill had tremendous pride in the bank and the community, but he had unbelievable pride for his family. His lovely wife, Sherry, and his 2 daughters, and then ultimately seeing it with his grandchildren. Bill was so loving and caring, and I wish he were here today to see all the success that they're having, because he loved them so much and was so supportive. And he just, as great of a businessman he was even better husband and father and grandfather.
Maser, and on behalf of my mother, Sharon Marshall, my sister, Kelley, and the entire Marshall family, thank you to the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce for graciously honoring our dad. Also, thank you to Brian Sloan and the entire Nebraska Chamber staff and board for all that they have done to orchestrate this tremendous event and to help promote a vibrant and dynamic business climate in the state of Nebraska. Our family would also like to congratulate the other inductees into the Hall of Fame this evening and thank them for their contributions to the evolution of Nebraska's business community. In addition, we would like to thank all the employees, directors, and advisory board members of 5 Points Bank and its affiliates who are in attendance this evening. We are blessed with an incredible team at 5 Points Bank, and our father thoroughly enjoyed working with his bank colleagues, and he was incredibly proud of what they had accomplished together. Also, we would like to extend a special thanks to our extended family that has traveled a long distance to be with us here tonight. I'd also like to recognize our state senator from Grand Island, Dan Quick, and Cindy Johnson, our local Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, for attending tonight. It is somewhat ironic that the Nebraska Chamber is honoring our father's achievements and contributions on this particular day, because today is the 4th anniversary of his passing. He died on January 30th, 2016. Over the years, our family has reflected much on what we have lost, but as we stand here tonight, we reflect on the values and the legacy he left not only to his family, but to his business, to his community, and to the state. On this somewhat sorrowful day for our family, our dad would not want us to look to the past and mourn his loss. He would want us to all progress forward, personally, professionally, and civically, just as he did. He would want us to strive to reach our God-given potential and utilize and share the talents and blessings that we've been given. He would also want us to live out his father's mantra that was stated in the video, that you have to pay rent for the space you take, meaning that we as corporate citizens have obligations to give back to our communities, and that a symbiotic relationship exists between the success of a business and the success of a community. This was a guiding principle in his life. Not only did he believe in the interwoven dynamic between a successful business and a thriving community, but through his involvement on community and statewide boards and projects, he greatly cherished the relationships born out of these associations. He was a man who loved to see progress, but he thoroughly enjoyed the process and the camaraderie involved in leading organizations and businesses to reach their goals. In particular, I think there's some people from the Nebraska Bankers Association that he was involved with here, and that was one association he greatly cherished. In addition to his love of progress and the relationships forged out of his affiliations, our dad was a man who cherished his family, in particular his wife of 45 years, Sherry, his business, the community of Grand Island, and the state he called home. Again, on behalf of his family, thank you for honoring him. Our father would be truly honored by this recognition. Thank you.